So there are countless ways that I think adults are wrongfully condescending to children and teenagers. For example, oh, that thing you're really passionate and excited about in life right now, that's just a phase and you'll grow out of that. But there's this one thing that's been said to me by adults in my past that I find especially unwarranted and misguided, and that is, what do you have to be stressed about? You're just a kid. What in your life could possibly feel so real and so important at this young age of yours that you feel stressed? And that you feel trapped, and that you feel worried, and that, yeah, you have genuine feelings. I just find this notion completely void of empathy or compassion of any kind, and I find it absurd to think that an older person would say this to a younger person, because what separates those two people? And I want to try to break that down. Think about life, and think about age as a video game. You start pretty much almost every video game a novice. You know basically nothing. You know no skills, you know no objectives, but as you progress through the video game, you begin to learn and understand new things. And as you learn new things, the game becomes harder, and the objectives become more difficult, but all the same, the easier levels remain as easy as they were when you first played them. And to revisit these older levels now would be so much more easy. You have a much more vast library of knowledge to approach problems with, and you have something to compare them to. You have harder things to compare easier problems to. And the levels you once found so difficult now look and seem so much easier in comparison to your difficult and demanding ones. And that's where I feel a lot of adults lose sight of their empathy and understanding for young people. It's wrong to put somebody down for something that they find difficult or stressful just because it isn't to you. It doesn't make it any less real or difficult or terrifying to that person. And I always just found it so hurtful and patronizing to be treated so dismissively by someone I looked up to. And yeah, of course in a way they were right. The stress that I felt studying towards a spelling test when I was 10 came nowhere near the amount of stress that I felt trying to balance university, work, a band, and YouTube all at the same time. But the stress and anxiety at the time felt equally real in both cases. And I may be wrong, but I think when an adult says, "What do you have to be stressed about?" in that moment they're looking at your life with a sense of envy, wishing they had those problems to worry about instead of the ones they have to worry about that feel very real. They just forget that yours feel very real to you too. Half the people telling you they're good at sex or that they have a big dick or whatever else are fucking lying. So I'm gonna break it down and be completely honest with you guys.